Let's start with our top 10 crazy historical facts. Number 10. The use of ketchup as a drug. Good food has one role, which is to ensure that we have a healthy life. Medications, on the other hand, are used to restore unstable health to normalcy. Dr. John Cook likely pondered this idea when he presented ketchup as a medicinal remedy. He claimed it could solve ailments like diarrhea, indigestion, and jaundice. While this discovery felt like a win for the doctor and the patients, he turned the ketchup recipe into tomato pills. After a while, the doctor's fortune led other crooks to create counterfeit tomato pills. The sad story here is those crooks mostly sold laxatives wrapped in red. Picture a scenario where a patient purchases tomato pills with the intention of alleviating diarrhea, but instead ends up consuming laxatives. The resulting situation would certainly be far from desirable. This series of events led to concerns about ketchup and ultimately caused the company's downfall. Nonetheless, some food genius like Heinz emerged and crafted the ketchup recipe that is widely recognized today. Number 9. The shortest war in history. War is a massive part of history, conquering and taking over lands and properties all in the quest to be a world power. While most wars lasted for years, there is quite an interesting one in the history books. How long did this war last? Well, if you said anything in hours and above, you are entirely wrong. Surprisingly, this war lasted only 38 minutes. It gave the vibes of ready, shoot, and surrender. It gets even crazier when you discover the people involved in the war. One side of the field was Britain, on the other hand was the Zanzibar. This war is known as the Anglo-Zanzibar War. According to the tale, the fresh ruler of Zanzibar betrayed the trust of the British populace by aligning with the Germans. This greatly angered the British, leading them to engage in conflict with Zanzibar. Interestingly, the Sultan took an amusing course of action, fleeing to the German camp and opting not to resist, resulting in a satisfying triumph for the British. Number 8. Makeup was a reason for Queen Elizabeth I's death. It is common knowledge today to use only trustworthy beauty products. No lady wants to be beautiful and have her internal organs destroyed by poisonous products. Well, maybe Queen Elizabeth didn't know the adverse effect of her makeup, but history has it that it was one of the major causes of her death. The Queen was a beautiful woman who would paint her face white to depict the snow. For someone with that much power, she could get anything she wanted and create a trend for other women to follow. Well, it will interest you to know that the Queen's makeup was made up of a significant ingredient. What do you think were the components? Colors, fragrances, or preservatives are the wrong answers. It was lead. Lead gave her face a white glow, but also destroyed the internal organs of the Queen. Things got worse after she had smallpox, which left her with scars. Queen Elizabeth increased her makeup use, subsequently increasing the poisoning of her body, ultimately leading to her death. Number 7. Demolishment of the Eiffel Tower. A visit to Paris is only complete with a beautiful picture of the Eiffel Tower. The tower is a symbol of visiting the city of love. If you have ever wondered why the Eiffel Tower was built, here is your answer. The Eiffel Tower was built in 1889 for the Exposition Universelle World Fair. This masterpiece was a symbol of the audacity of the French technology industry. The Eiffel Tower was the first tower to reach 1,000 feet in height and remained the highest building in the world for 40 years. Well, this masterpiece was almost demolished. Gustave Eiffel was permitted to allow the structure to stand for 20 years. The agreement was that after the allocated time, the structure would be taken down. However, the structure remained in place 20 years later because of its value. Number 6. The use of urine as a cleaning agent. As disgusting as this might sound, it happened. Urine was used as a cleaning agent among the people of ancient Rome, the exact way detergent is used to clean surfaces and dirt. Urine has a high level of ammonia. The chemical agent ammonia is quite effective in dissolving grease and grime. The ancient Romans used urine to clean practically everything, from clothes to the floor. Rumor has it that some ancient Romans even used it to clean their teeth. Yikes, if you ask me. The involvement of urine in the everyday lives of the people of ancient Rome was quite vast. Aside from the cleaning agent, urine was used to clean wounds and treat burns. Even their leather industry also used urine. Ancient Romans who worked with leather claimed it made it softer and more effortless. Is it safe to say the people of ancient Rome were crazy, or were they quite innovative? If you ask me, I would say both. Number 5. The dancing plague. Picture yourself waking up on a sunny morning and stepping into the street only to meet everyone on the road dancing. No music or cause for celebration, yet the stomping of feet and moving of bodies continue. The dancing plague is a crazy historical fact of the Europeans between the 14th and 17th centuries. The last of such mania was recorded in 1518. People will dance uncontrollably for an extended period without any rest. Again, there was no music or cause for celebration. They danced till they died from exhaustion, injuries, or heart attack. Although it might appear amusing, there isn't a confirmed origin for this phenomenon. Certain historians have proposed that it could have arisen from hysteria or as a cultural phenomenon. The reason behind the dancing plague remains a mystery, as medical practitioners of that era lacked the understanding to provide answers. Number 4. The disguise of the Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal is a beautiful Islamic structure in India. It is an ivory white marble mausoleum located at the bank of the Yamuna River in Pradesh, India. Well, did you know that this beauty was disguised as a pile of bamboo during the Second World War? In 1942, the British believed this masterpiece was vulnerable to bombing. For this reason, they decided to layer the building entirely with bamboo scaffolding. This layering was to achieve one thing: make the structure seem useless. The Indians used this technique again during the war against Pakistan between 1965 and 1971 to preserve their treasured building. The next time you want to hide something, perhaps disguising it with bamboo works really well. Number 3. The theft of the Mona Lisa. The painting of Mona Lisa is one of the world's most famous paintings. Aside from its properties that stood out and made it a masterpiece, several things contributed to its fame. Created by the illustrious artist Leonardo da Vinci, the painting gained even more prominence in 1911 when it mysteriously disappeared. Before the theft, the Mona Lisa was placed in the Salon Carré in the Louvre. A painter went to admire the work, and he raised an alarm that the art was gone. This remarkable piece of art remained missing for a duration of 2 years. The artwork was later found with an Italian immigrant, Vincenzo Perugia, in 1923. The 29-year-old who helped to build the protective frame of the artwork stashed the painting in his home. Nonetheless, the theft made the picture famous as it caused a large-scale police investigation and gained enough public interest. Number 2. The real use of Abraham Lincoln's hat. Accessories give our looks a touch of glam and make us look beautiful, so it's safe to say that Abraham Lincoln was someone who possessed a sense of style. His hat in particular was a signatory look which he used for every event. He wore his hats during the time of war or the time of peace. Lincoln's hat was worn to both formal and informal occasions. Abraham Lincoln was the 16th President of the United States of America. He was exceptionally tall, and his hat made him own the look. To the utmost surprise of everyone, Lincoln's hat was more of a safe house than an accessory. His hat contained all his important documents and papers. Lincoln's hat had an inner lining that could hold the documents no matter the weather. His hat was his style and at the same time his safe. The American president's hat was perfectly placed on his head, even on the night of his assassination. Number 1. Crocodile dung contraceptives. These days, there are so many healthy contraceptive methods to prevent pregnancy. The women of ancient Egypt would surely value the advancements that technology has brought to contemporary motherhood. The methods employed in their era were rather peculiar. They used a paste made from crocodile dung which was inserted into their vagina as a form of birth control. The women believed that dung created a blockage that prevented the sperm from going further, thus acting as a contraceptive. Interestingly, this unconventional method actually worked. So crocodile dung was a standard contraceptive method among the women of ancient Egypt. Scientifically, it is proven that the paste made out of the dung is chemically similar to the spermicides. That is why it worked for the ancient women of Egypt.